Boker Tov, good morning. Today is Friday, August 26th, Erev Shabbat, Parshat Re'eh. And I'm coming to you from the Poconos for a few more hours that I'm here. You might have heard that this past week, the President of the United States has announced a school loan forgiveness program. I don't know all the details. If you make under $125,000 and you have Pell Grants, up to, I don't know, something like $20,000 of your unpaid loans will be forgiven to you. And we understand what the outcry would be from some camps about the justness or the fairness of such a loan forgiveness. Why is this loan, for example, privileged over other loans? Yeah, it's not so simple. And why it is that people who worked hard to pay off loans and debts are have no recognition in any of this. There's no kind of gift to them. It's only the people who are carrying the burden of loans that are being of school loans that are being forgiven. They're all interesting questions. I'm not entering into the fray beyond that, but I just want to have us appreciate that the idea, the possibility that it is just, because one of the arguments is it's not just to even do this at all. The idea that loans should be forgiven is an ancient one, and it appears in our Torah portion this week. It actually talks about the end of the Shemitah, year, and what will happen there. You know, the Shemitah, we haven't talked much about it, but we've been in the Shemitah, the sabbatical year, throughout this past year. In Israel, fruits and the like have to follow the rules of the sabbatical and what you do with it. That's been the living reality of agriculture and eating in Israel for all this time. And as we come to the end of the Shemitah year, we suddenly have another discussion which has to do with Shmitat Ksafim, financial sabbatical or release, the release. This is how the Torah reads to us at the beginning of chapter 15. Miketz Sheva Shanim Taseh Shmita. At the end of 7 years, you will make a Shemitah. V'zeh dvar Shemitah. Shamot kol Baal Mashe Yado Asher Yeshav B'Re'ehu. Lo yigos et Re'ehu. Ve'et achiv. Ki kara Shemitah l'Adonai. That this is how the Shemitah is going to work. Anybody who still owes something to another individual, right, where there was their debt outstanding on a loan, it cannot be collected anymore because it has been called a Shemitah for God. So that's an interesting discussion, right? And that's the mitzvah. So what happens with personal debts? We'll arrange for clarify. In an industrial society, in a commerce society, there have been workarounds this rule because of the way general lending and loans work, how much they are essential to extending credit and the like. It's critical to a whole functioning society, and so the Pruz Bowl is a whole institution which Hillel put into place to kind of work around the principle in the Torah. But the principle of the Torah we should understand is, in effect, that if a person has a debt owed to somebody else, money that was borrowed, and has not been able to pay it off, so there is a release. There is a release. It's part of ensuring that somebody does not get crushed in a society when they're simply not able to get out from under those commitments and debts they made. That's a chesed. That is a kindness that is shown. In ancient societies, there was a misharum. The misharum was primarily when a ruler was fearful that the people over whom he ruled were growing angry and needed to be thrown a bone. So he would, as an individual act, just decide all debts are released. The Torah says we're going to put that into a formula that doesn't leave it to anybody, whether he is the ancient ruler or even a president. That's a complicated message, right? And who has the right to do all this? Again, not my topic right now. But the Torah wanted to build in a basic societal norm that allowed people to start over again. And we knew this from the end of the Vayikra, where we met these rules, and here we have around agricultural things, and here we have the most specific around the financial matters. We're here to try to help one another, not to crush anyone, but to help people out of out from under the debts they have, so they can become a functioning member of society as they wish to be. That's the kindness that we show one another. The Torah expects us to show one another. And as the psukim continue, we ultimately read a lot of these psukim about the way we extend ourselves as if they were talking about tzedakah, but the principle of tzedakah in the Torah really begins with caring loans, which are there to help another in a specific situation, and perhaps release from them on the other side. Let us all continue to carry that value within us, whether we have loans that are owed to us, or we're the ones who owe the money. But also more broadly, the way we function and create a society that cares. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.